All right, I don't know if y'all saw that, but look at her, look at her. It's cranberry sauce, all that good stuff. This is a staple. You gotta make this. Hey, good people. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Come on in. Welcome to our channel. My name is B, and I am the owner of Sweet Granny B's. That's who this is. This is Sweet Granny B, and we have a dessert shop where we sell delicious, delectable desserts. Online Thanksgiving coming up. Y'all need to go ahead and place your orders. Okay, check out the website and see everything that we do. We ship all over these here United States, so place an order, get it. But welcome to Soul Food Sundays. Welcome. Okay, so y'all know Soul Food Sundays. For those of you who may not know, Soul Food Sundays is all about food, family, fellowship, and fun, Okay, so we are in the midst of our Thanksgiving dinner video. So this is video number 4. So we've done mac and cheese, done sweet potatoes or candied yams, whatever you want to call them. We did greens last week. That was a repeat because we already did greens. So I just did a kind of a live and interjected that one into the series. So today, people, I'm excited. We're doing my grandmama's dressing. Now this dressing been passed down from my grandmama to my mama to me, and I done gave it to my daughter. So this is truly a generational recipe for dressing. Now this is not stuffing. It's a difference. This is dressing. Okay, so we gonna make traditional Southern style dressing today, and then our last video next week is gonna be our turkey, and I'm gonna show y'all how to do that. It's a different kind of recipe, but it's gonna be good. Trust me, it's gonna be delicious. So today we're gonna make the dressing. We're gonna make the chicken stock from scratch, and then of course we're gonna make the dressing from scratch. So buckle up, ready for number 4. Get ready. It's gonna be so good. I can't wait. This is the reason we only make this one time a year, because it's kind of involving, so it's a lot to it. So y'all gonna have to stay with me. But it's so good. And if you want to make it multiple times a year, you can. But you know, dressing is a staple, so you definitely gotta have it for Thanksgiving dinner. So we will be right back. We're gonna get off into this thing. We'll be right back and show you all of the ingredients. All right, good people, so we're gonna get off into these ingredients. We have some celery we done chopped up. We got some green onion and some green pepper. This is yellow onion. This is a sweet onion that we have here. We got some eggs. This is kind of our reserve stuffing mix, cornbread stuffing mix that we may or may not use, so we'll see. Got some chicken thighs, some cream of chicken soup. We got some white cornbread mix, non-sweet. That's very important, not sweet. We got some chicken stovetop and some cornbread flavor stovetop. We got bay leaves. Can't forget the bay leaves. Got some minced garlic, seasoned salt, chicken bouillon. You know I love chicken bouillon. We got some sage, and we got some black pepper, and of course our water. So this is all of the ingredients. So you see it's not the usual where it's only a few. This is quite a bit of ingredients. So this is what we're gonna be working with, and the first thing we're gonna do is make the chicken stock. So we'll be right back to show you how we do that. So do not skip this step. We got our chicken thighs and we're rinsing them in cool water. Don't skip this. Y'all make sure and rinse this chicken off thoroughly before you cook with it. Go ahead and put it in the pot. I know some people tell you don't need to do it, but I do it. So go ahead and make sure you rinse the chicken clean and thank you. Okay. Really just want to get that little kind of a slimy feeling. Rinse that off. That's all you're doing. All right. So we done put our chicken in our stock pot, and what we are going to do is add all of our veggies. So all the onion, the pepper, right, and the celery. We're gonna add all of that to the stock pot. Then we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. And I'm gonna put the recipe, of course, in the notes so you'll know how much to use. I'm making a smaller portion, so it just depends on how much you want to make. I'll add 1/2 tablespoon of black pepper. Put in a tablespoon of garlic. Ooh, I'm low on garlic. I'll just use all of this, so it'll be a 1.5 tablespoon. We're gonna put in 1/2, really about 1/3, because we don't want to put too much. About 1/3 tablespoon of seasoned salt, because we already put in the bouillon, and that's gonna be salty. And then we're gonna add our water in, and we just want enough to kind of cover really well. And that's gonna give us, gonna add a little, that's 2 quarts of water. I'm gonna add a little bit more, and then we're just gonna let this boil. So that's gonna be our chicken stock, and we're gonna let this boil. We're gonna bring it to a high heat. We're gonna put it on high heat to bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna turn it on a medium heat and just kind of let it boil for probably about an hour or so, and then we'll check it and see if it's ready. But you really just want to let these flavors really just meld together really well and blend to create that good chicken stock. So we're gonna let this boil, and in the meantime we're gonna go ahead and make our cornbread. So we'll be back to show you that, and that'll be the next step. So we're just gonna let this boil for a little while, and when it's done I'll show you what that looks like. And not forget, we also have to add in our bay leaves. So we're gonna put in 2 nice sized bay leaves, and that just gives it that extra great flavor. Bay leaves add a fantastic flavor to any kind of stock or soup or things like that, so don't forget to add those in. All right, okay, so now we're going to prepare the white cornbread mix, and basically you just prepare this per the instruction on the bag. And like I said, you just want to make sure that you use a non-sweet, so don't use Jiffy Mix. Use a white cornbread mix that is not sweet. That's very important. And so we're just gonna add eggs. We use 2, so we use 2 eggs, 2/3 cup of milk. Well, 1 1/3, because we're gonna do it twice. And we're just gonna stir that up and put that into our skillet. Got our handy dandy cast iron skillet. You can beat the eggs before you put them in here if you like. It's up to you. And we're gonna bake this on 425 until it's brown, and then take it out and let it cool. And that'll be part of our dressing mixture. Alright, then we just gonna spray our pan. We're gonna spray the pan real well so it'll come out easily. Put it in. If you don't have your cast iron skillet, you need to get you one. Especially for cooking your Thanksgiving meal. It's handy and dandy. Comes in handy. A lot of use out of that. So we're gonna bake this on 425 until it's brown. Per the instruction, we're gonna bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, we're gonna bake it, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so the broth is done, and I let this boil for about an hour. So what we're gonna do is strain the broth. So that's gonna get all the veggies into the bowl and the chicken. Right. So we're gonna set the broth aside, and then we're going to cut up the chicken. So that's the next step. We're gonna dice up all the chicken, and then I'll show you the next step after that. So basically with this step, you're going to take off all the skin on the chicken, and then you're just going to debone and cut the chicken up. So you don't want the skin, get rid of that. Take this and debone it, and it's really gonna fall off the bone. And then we just gonna dice it up into really small pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this done and deboned and sliced up, and then I'll show you what it looks like after that. So we basically got our chicken deboned, and we cut it up really fine, and that's what you want, because this is going to bake into your dressing. So you're just going to cut it up real good. We got rid of the skin and the bone. So now we're going to take all the chicken and we're going to put it into a bowl. And then we're going to add all of the veggies that we had. So the celery, the onion, I'll add all of that to the bowl. So now we're going to add in our stuffing mix. So we had cornbread and we had chicken. Then we're going to add in our cornbread that we made. You just want to break that up. You're just going to kind of situate it down a little bit in the chicken. And this is going to make quite a bit of dressing, so just make sure you got a large enough pan to be able to hold everything. So we can kind of take our hands and just kind of break this up. Alright, so then we are going to add in our soup mix. So we're just going to add in 1 can of the condensed creamy chicken. And then we're going to add in our eggs. And this is, you add the egg in basically to help keep the breading together. The stuffing together, so don't just break apart too easy, because you want it to form. You want it to be a solid form as it's baking. So that's why you add the egg. Alright, and we're just gonna situate this in here. And with this is another dish where you just gonna have to kind of get messy with it. So you don't have to, you know, put your hand in it, and that's okay. I'm gonna wear a glove, but if you don't want to, you ain't got to, as long as your hands are clean. But you don't have to really get down and dirty in there with this. Right. And usually when we make it, we put it in a big roasting pan. So we might use that, or we might use our 9x13 pan. Alright, so now you are going to take like a 1 cup measuring cup. You're going to start adding in your broth. I'll sit this right here. And you're doing this to get to a consistency. You want it to be wet. Go ahead and add in 3 cups to start. So you want a good wet consistency, but you don't want it too moist. So it's a delicate balance, but you want all the breading to be wet. So that's what you are kind of looking for. And y'all know what? I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. I'm not using my wooden spoons. Y'all know I love my wooden spoons. Alright, there we go. So you want it to be wet, but you don't want it too wet. So you really just have to kind of add and then see where it is. Alright, so we've added 3 cups of the chicken stock. We want to add in a couple tablespoons of our sage. teaspoons of sage. We're gonna add in a teaspoon of our chicken bouillon. Sprinkle that in. And some pepper. I'll add a half a teaspoon of pepper. And then we're gonna add in another 2 cups of chicken broth. Okay, then we're gonna situate this around. Then we're gonna taste it and see what we're looking like. Because that's the thing you're looking for, is what is going to make sure to take out your bay leaves. But you want it to suit your particular taste. So however much sage you want to put into it, however much bouillon you want to put into it, that's going to, your taste is going to determine how much you use. But you do have to taste it in order to know what you're working with. Alright, so we almost there. We're just going to mix this in because we want to make sure all the sage and the bouillon and the peppers mixed in really, really well. But I like consistency of the wet. I like what that's looking like. I'm making a mess. It's alright. I'll clean up after. Alright, so we're gonna taste it and see what we got. Alright, so we don't need no more sage. I like how that is balanced out. I'm gonna put in another half a teaspoon of bouillon because I want a little bit more of that flavoring. A little bit more pepper, and then we're gonna put in a little bit more pepper, and then we're gonna put in another cup of our chicken stock. It's coming along pretty good. And with dressing, you just gotta have patience with it and work with it, and you gotta talk to the dressing. I'll taste it again. We don't need to put no more bouillon in it, no more salt, anything. Just want to mix it in really, really well. A little bit more chicken stock. I think this will be about enough of the chicken stock. So it was a little bit salty for me. So I added some of the reserve. I'm adding some of that to kind of cut the salt. And that should do the trick, and just add the rest of that. That last little bit of bouillon was a little bit too much. And it kind of took it over the edge with the salt factor. So that's why we're going to add the rest of the breading. And then we're just going to mix this in really well. And we should be good to go. You really got to take your time with dressing. It is what it is. Take your time with it. Don't rush it. A little bit more chicken stock. Just taste it and see where we at. Yep, I did it. Yep. Yep, it's good and sagey. And taste all the seasonings. It's not overly salty. Add one more cup of this. Add a little bit. It's a little bit wetter. And I'm gonna add just a pinch more of sage. Just a pinch. Get a little bit more of that flavor in there. And I think we got a winner. Like I said, it's really going to be up to you and your particular taste. But you have to taste the dressing mix. That's the only way you're going to get it to where you want it to be. You got to taste it. And you got to have patience because you got to stir it up and make sure it's the right consistency. Taste it one more time. Yep. Yep. And like I said, I'm gonna put the recipe in there for you measures. So y'all can have a good basis of the recipe calls for sage. I don't tell you how much. So it's the recipe, but you still gonna have to put a little thought into it, and that's okay. All right, yeah, so this is the consistency that you really want. Get up in there. You want it to be really wet, or a nice wet. You don't want to see any really dry spots. That's how you want it. See how I'm just smoothing it over like that? That's how you want it to be. That's the consistency that you want. So we're gonna go ahead and transfer this to the pan and cover it. So we're gonna go ahead and use this pan here and just transfer it in. All right, so we're gonna cover this with some foil, and we're gonna let this bake for about an hour to an hour and a half. And we're gonna take the foil off and let it brown. And I'll be back to show you what we got. All right, we had this bacon for about an hour, a little bit over an hour. Baked it for about an hour on 350 covered, and then we uncovered it and let it brown. That took about another 35-40 minutes. So all right, look at what we got. Yes. All right, I don't know if y'all saw that, but look at her. Yes, that is homemade Thanksgiving dressing for Thanksgiving, y'all. And it does, I mean, making dressing takes a little bit of time. It definitely takes patience. It takes time, it takes patience, and you just have to really taste that thing to make sure it is where you want it to be. So we're gonna go ahead and dig in. And I love dressing. So you put that cranberry sauce on there, some turkey, and then you got to put it in with the greens and candy yams and mac and cheese, and you just put them all together and you just get up, get up in there. Yes, and it's moist. It's got flavor throughout, and it's just the perfect complement to the turkey dressing. It's cranberry sauce, all that good stuff. This is a staple. You gotta make this. There is no, well, maybe I should. You gotta make the dressing, okay? So y'all watch the video. Make sure you make this for Thanksgiving. Thank y'all for tuning in. This video number 4. We got one more. We're gonna do the turkey next week. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to Soul Food Sundays, and I will see y'all next week.